3/4. Let's check in now at the edge of the trading floor at the CME Group with Oliver Sloup with Blue Line Futures. Oliver, this soybean market pretty interesting today. We've big here again, double-digit negative territory again for this market.
Yeah, it looked like we were gonna go through the week on a pretty high note. We started climbing up towards that key technical resistance, 1021, but really failed to gain any significant buying interest above 1015, and that led to some long liquidation, I think, from the funds. It brought us back towards that gap yesterday. Remember that big whoosh lower that came in at 995 3/4, filled that gap, and once we filled that gap, we weren't able to springboard off of that technical support. We lingered towards the bottom end of the range, and I think that made bulls a little cautious. So we saw that momentum to the downside carry over into today's session and brings us right down to the next line in the sand, basically 984 to 988. This represents the 50-day moving average as well as the 50% retracement on the year, so very technically significant in our minds. If we're able to hold this, I think there might be some opportunity to the long side here, but a break and close below that 984 level could encourage additional long liquidation from the funds, and there's not a whole lot of support until that 968 level.
Technically significant, you use that term, and I like that term, but what about technically damaging? Is this setting up a scenario where the bulls could be just completely scared out of their position?
You know, we did post higher highs here this week, so that is encouraging. And I think if we're able to hold 984 to 988, that had been a support previously. And if we're able to hold that, I think we can mark higher lows. And that's kind of the trend we're looking at in the market. Higher highs and higher lows is very friendly to the market. So though we've seen some pressure here in the past couple of sessions, I think the bulls have a little bit of an advantage here, especially with some concerns surrounding South America. We know that there's been some chatter of La Nina. If that really develops into something, potentially that puts a little bit more premium into the market.
Oliver, I was reading some of the comments in the trade earlier, and I noticed where one analyst company come out and basically said we don't look for a whole lot of change as far as bushels in this next report from World Supply and Demand on Tuesday, but more of a kind of just an adjustment for the exports. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of folks are just kind of taking next week's report as just another day. They'll probably see a little bit of a pop in volatility, but I don't think anybody's expecting any significant changes from the USDA in that Tuesday report.
Oliver Sloup here with us, and when we come back, we're going to